Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame, and this is basically an update of sorts for the Married Man Side Heffa Saga. So anyway, before I get started with that, yes, I am fully clothed. This is a yoga slash workout top, and yeah. I don't want nobody to think I'm naked or whatever and trying to be provocative. I'm really not. I actually just finished taking some pictures that are serving as before pictures for myself because I have been losing weight. I have lost 45 pounds since the last time I actually weighed myself. I probably lost about 50, 55 now, but I forgot to weigh myself. So I don't know. Then I ate this morning. So I have no idea. I normally like try to weigh myself like right when I come home when I think about it. And if I don't, it's like a lost cause in my opinion. But yeah, I be doing the most at work and I have not even tried to lose weight and I've been losing it. So I already know that once I start back doing alkaline, I am going to lose weight because when I did it last year religiously, I lost weight like crazy and it works well for me. I wasn't trying to lose weight and I'm not necessarily trying to lose weight. It's just the fact that when I do this alkaline lifestyle, I just end up losing weight. And I like doing the alkaline stuff because it actually helps me because I've had arthritis since I was 11 years old, y'all. And a couple of years back, I got out of bed and I had a ligament in my knee that tore. And ever since then, I literally can't even walk down steps or even run down steps anymore. And that used to be the easiest thing that I could do was to go down steps with ease, even when my arthritis was acting up. Now, the worst part of me walking when it comes to steps is walking down steps. And I don't like that. I ain't here for it. But last year when I was doing alkaline, y'all, I was doing the most. I had knees like Megan. Like I was squatting and having to catch myself like, wait a minute. I ain't in no pain. Wait a minute. And then like I'm like, oh, the pain will probably come tomorrow. I done did the most. But then the pain would never come because all of the stuff that I had been eating and drinking was alkaline and it had pushed all that mucus out of me. And it just does wonders for me. So I just like what it does pain wise. I don't take medication because medication don't really work for me anyway. Stopped taking medicine years ago. But yeah, I feel like I shouldn't have to take medicine, especially if all I got to do is eat certain things in particular, and then I'm not in that pain. And it just ends up being a bonus that I lose weight. So it is what it is. So right now, this is the before and the after is loading. And that's what I told my family and my friends. And it is what it is. So anyway, y'all, ain't much changed on the front, on this front of the Married Man Side Heffa Saga. Right after I sent the letter to the HR manager, I don't even think it had been a week, y'all. The married man wrote up on me and he was like, hey, how you doing? I was like, I'm fine. How are you? Because I'm cordial. If you speak to me, I'm going to speak back. Long as you ain't talking to me and acting rapey or whatever, I'll speak back to you. I don't care. Don't roll up on me thinking you have a chance, but I will speak back to you. So anyway, he was like, I'm fine. I was like, okay, cool. Went on about my business. But then like, I'm thinking like, oh, he stopped everything he was doing and came over to where I was. Keep in mind, there is an area that's designated for us to put on masks and to wash our hands. So at that time, I was at the area where you put the mask and stuff on. And if you want to do hand sanitizer and alcohol and all this other stuff, that's where I was. And so he stopped right there. So then he just was like, oh, okay then. So have you thought about applying for any of the jobs that they putting out there? Because they are creating like 60 something new jobs. And that means that old positions will have to be filled as well. So it just depends on what you decide to do, whether you want to just apply for a new position or go somewhere else that will end up being open because somebody went to one of the new positions. I'm just saying there is 60 something plus positions that will be coming to my job. And I was like, well, I mean, one of the positions that I have thought about, it's a lot, but I know I could do it. And like every time somebody asks me, and I don't know what it is, everybody asks me that like all the time. Like if I thought about doing certain things, and one job in particular that I have thought about, everybody keeps telling me I should do it because of my experience at my last job. And I'm like, but I don't know if I want to do all that though. And this is not going to be my final place of employment. Like this is not my destiny. This is not where I'm supposed to be. This is a stepping stone, and I'm very grateful for it. It is what it is. But and I told him, I was like, yeah, I have thought about this particular job, but I don't know if I would go through with it. He was like, oh, okay then. Oh, okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. I was like, oh, okay. So he just stood there, and I had to like walk off. Like I'm looking at him like I got to go back to work. And it's like normally when he want to hold a conversation, I am going back to work. So then today, same thing happened. I was going back from my lunch break and we crossed paths. He was like, hey, how you doing? I said, fine. How are you? He was like, I'm good. So we done turned corners. So I'm thinking he went on by his business. Lies. This fool backtracked. And then, like I told y'all before, we have an area with a mask and stuff, and then an area where we have like sinks and all this other stuff. We wash our hands. He came over to the sinks where I was. Now, keep in mind, they have the way these sinks are. They have two big areas for two sinks, but the sinks have like 6 to 8 spouts. He came all the way over to the sink that I was at instead of the other one to wash his hands right next to me. And I was just like, all right, what kind of foolishness he finna come up with today? What kind of random questions is he about to come up with now? Because you already said hey to me. We ain't got nothing else to talk about. Why, sir? So then he was like, oh, okay then. So you liking it? I'm looking at him like, bro, you ask me this like almost every other time you talk to me. He always want to know if I'm, liking the position that I'm working in. And I keep telling him it's all right. It's cool. It is what it is. So then he said something to me about, I forgot what the second thing was he said to me, but he mumbled it. And I'm going to get to the reason why I feel like he mumbled it, because I sure couldn't hear him, because I'm like, you standing right next to me. Now, keep in mind, I did have something in my ear. I was listening to my music, and I normally don't even listen to anything in this ear unless I'm like off by myself in my little area that I like being in when I'm on my break. But I had came out of there, and my other one, I had basically listened to that all night. So I had killed that one. So it was what it was. So I had to, like, this literally was my first time looking in his face. So today was the first day I actually know what he fully looks like for real. He still look ugly to me. I don't know I don't know nobody else see ugly to me. My friend said she think he look okay. I was like, girl, bye. He was ugly under the mask. He doesn't wear a mask now, I guess because he is fully vaccinated. But no. No, I am not here for it. I don't know what she looking at. I don't know what the side Heffa looking at. He ain't fine. No. And like I keep telling y'all, he seems like he missing something. He seem off. And I'm like, just like the way he speaks, I'm like, what? But he's cordial to everybody, but he be doing the absolute most when it comes to me. So anyway, he said something and I was like, huh? And I looked up in his face because I had to, like, whenever I know that I'm in an area that's really, really loud, or I have my music in my ear or something blasting, I'll turn the other ear to them. So I was like, huh? And I looked up in his face. Tell me why this is what this fool doing. Looking at butt cheeks. Now, from where he was standing at, he was seeing side butt cheek and partial behind. Like partially from behind, so he had a nice little view of butt cheeks. I have butt cheeks. I have some nice booty. I have a nice wagon that I'm dragging. It is what it is. I look. Just tell you. Look, one day I had completed my paperwork. And this dude, like, they have specific people who are scheduled to come up there and retrieve the paperwork. So when my friend was still working there, I had already did my paperwork and I started doing some of my other work I had to do. This man came over to the desk, got the paperwork, And he had to wait for somebody else to bring some paperwork over there too. I had to do something where I had to bend over or something. He already was looking at me. I didn't know he was standing right there. So I had to bend over. He was already staring and he was all up in butt cheeks. Apparently, my friend texted me and told me, I was like, what? And so I went over to her because we were working really in close quarters that day. And so I was like, what are you talking about? She was like, I saw him because I had already told her that I think he liked me and he be staring at me. But I don't be really caring like that. So I don't like make a point to be like, oh, let me see if I can catch them in the act. I don't care. So she was like, girl, he definitely is into you. He was staring at you. I was like, doggone, he was staring at you. She said when he walked off, looked like his neck was going to break because as he was walking, he was still staring. And I wasn't even bent over no more. I was like, what? She was like, yeah, he did the most. I was like, girl, I can't. So I said all that to say I have booty. Good Lord, I got booty for days. Not body, booty. I really do wish that there was a way that I could like give some away to people because I've always been pear-shaped and I do have a lot of booty. People tend to like my booty and I don't fancy all that attention. I like attention to a certain degree, but I don't like all of that. Like people have followed me around stores. It's not fun. Don't like it. I don't like the stalker vibes. Not here for it. Just not here for it. Had some man roll up on me and say, are you a model? Have you ever thought of being a plus size model? I was like, no. Like, y'all don't be understanding. People really do be rolling up on me saying all kinds of stuff. I really be minding my business. Like, I be like jamming and they will come out of nowhere and be like, excuse me, ma'am. And I'm like, like what? So yeah, y'all, he did the most. Like he really was like staring at butt cheeks. I was like, sir. And I really looked at him like, y'all, I went on about my business. Cause I was like, he done did the most. And then he proceeded to stand there staring. I was like, oh Lord, I can't wait to get up out of here. And then I'm pretty sure somehow it's going to get back to her, even though nobody, and it's crazy because nobody was in there in that moment when that happened. Now, I don't know. I just can't, y'all. I be so tired of my spirit. But yeah, that's the update of what's been going on. Ain't nothing else happened with HR so far. I'm waiting to see if they say anything else. But anyway, I'll keep y'all updated. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.